How do you dry and store rose hips? If you have ever wondered how to dry and store rose hips, you are in for a treat. These little fruits are not only delicious but also packed with nutrients. Let's break down the steps to ensure you can enjoy them long after the harvest season. First, when should you pick rose hips? The best time is after the first frost. This is when they turn bright red or orange and feel firm yet slightly soft. Once you have gathered them, wash the rose hips thoroughly to remove any dirt or insects. Next, you will want to trim off the blossom and stem ends. A sharp knife works best for this task. If you plan to use the rose hips in recipes, consider cutting them in half and scooping out the seeds and fine hairs inside. These can be irritating if consumed, but some people prefer to dry them whole for later use. Now let's talk about drying methods. If you have a dehydrator, spread the cleaned rose hips in a single layer on the trays. Set the temperature low and dry them for about 6 to 12 hours. Check them periodically until they are bone dry and shriveled. If you do not have a dehydrator, you can use an oven. Place the rose hips on a baking tray in a single layer and dry them at a low temperature, around 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 3 to 4 hours. Another option is air drying. You can string the rose hips on a thread to make chains and hang them in a dry, dark, and well-ventilated area. Alternatively, spread them on screens. This method can take a week or longer, depending on the humidity and temperature. Make sure they are fully dry to prevent mold. So, how do you know when they are properly dried? The rose hips should be shriveled and feel completely dry when you break them apart. No moisture should remain, as this can lead to spoilage during storage. Once dried, allow the rose hips to cool completely. Store them in an airtight container, like a mason jar, to protect them from moisture and air. Keep the container in a cool, dark place away from direct sunlight to maintain their quality. If stored properly, dried rose hips can last well over a year. For those camping or living off-grid, drying outdoors is a great option. Just choose a spot that is protected from rain and humidity. If space or weather is a concern, air drying indoors in a well-ventilated area is a good alternative, though it may take longer. Lastly, crushing dried rose hips before storage can help remove any remaining hairs by sifting. This makes them more comfortable for tea or culinary use. By following these steps, you can enjoy the benefits of rose hips long after the harvest season, making your camping and foraging experiences even more rewarding.